Hi everyone, this is Sayer G, founder of GreenMedInfo, and thank you for being interested in helping us to enter studies into our database. Now this is of course Pubmed.gov, which is that beautiful ocean of research that we all love to swim in. And I've just picked up an arbitrary study here, and you'll see this identification number on the bottom, 26393910. One can copy paste this, or even maybe easier, copy paste URL because it's got it at the end. Go to our handy parser, paste it in, hit submit, and then what it's going to do is distribute the study into the various fields as best as it can. Now some of these keywords are already programmed to be associated with the embedded language of medical subject headings that is in the study on the back end. So what we want you to do is to basically learn how to associate properly the terms that are linked in this study. So this is a study about American ginseng. So you're going to type in American ginseng. And some of the diseases already linked up here are DNA damage and oxidative stress. Now this is a clinical trial, so we're going to go human study. And let's look at it real quick. It's a pretty cool study. American ginseng tea protects cellular DNA within 2 hours from consumption. Results of a pilot study in healthy human volunteers. Now this is really the key statement. So I'm going to copy paste that part and put it into our summary. And this is what's actually going to come up at the top of the study in the page that you'll see when we hit submit. Now let's see. The acute genoprotective effect of American ginseng has been investigated. They're looking at its DNA protective effects. They took 7 individuals, had them drink a cup, and within 2 hours post ingestion, they challenged the blood that they took out of these subjects with ultraviolet irradiation. And what they found was a significant decrease in COMET score, which is a marker of DNA damage, after the American ginseng supplementation, and no beneficial change in the control group. So as we go up higher, I want you to see a few things. Now, unfortunately, this did come up. You have to be careful because there are automatic keywords linked in here, and sunlight exposure under a therapeutic action should mean beneficial, and somehow it came up as in this study as beneficial. So we want to actually delete that. So American ginseng is an antioxidant activity. Let's see, genoprotective is another one. And sometimes you'll find even more subtle changes. They'll see, like, say, interleukin-6 downregulation. Our pharmacological actions index has, I believe, almost 600 to choose from. So DNA damage, downregulating oxidative stress. So those 2 disease terms are enough. And let's go look. There's other stuff here you won't have to know about until we show you a few more examples. And it's really this easy. So let's hit submit. We'll show you what comes up. Okay, it's going to take a second to crunch along. Bear with us here. While it does that, I'm going to look for another study. I want to show you one that is a free study. So let's clear this. Let me go to a study on chocolate. Who doesn't want to know about chocolate? And let's go for a free full study. Okay, let's also do clinical trial. See if anything new came up. Okay. Okay. Well, that's an interesting one here. We're gonna go with this one. Okay. So I'm gonna copy paste that URL. Let's go back here actually. Let me just show you quickly the last one we entered. And there it is. So as you can see, the title's up here. You have your citations, and then here's the associated database links. And that's it. So let's go back to our parser. Just go back. Let's put in our new study. This one I want to show you what to do when you have a free study, which we love because, you know, a lot of these studies are behind paywalls, and it's nice to have one that's free. So we're going to go, this is a free article, and I'm going to take the link to the free full version here, you see, and I'm going to put that into, the free article link URL. Now, what do we put in the other field here is really basic. I just take this content and I throw that in here. Free article link title. So this will be hyperlinked to the full study. Okay. So already we have a substance populating this field, cacao, and these two diseases. It's a human study. It's an antioxidant. I'm just going to go down. Okay. So here you wouldn't just copy this title because it doesn't really give you a statement of fact about what the study is about. Because the summary here is really so people can glance and get a sense for what it's all about. So I'm going to go usually to the conclusion. The consumption of, looks like, cacao flavonols in amounts up to 2,000 milligrams a day for 12 weeks was well tolerated in healthy men and women. Okay, look. Interestingly enough, this study did not produce a conclusion of value. There was no clinically relevant changes in the metabolic variables assessed. Okay, so either way, that's fine. We're not going to enter this study, but you've seen so far what a full study will look like being entered. So let's find one that we can enter. That's going to be interesting. Okay. The tough thing, as you may know, is trying to find clinical studies in humans that have beneficial effects and related to food, and sometimes it's hard to. Oh, this is interesting. Chocolate consumption and risk of heart failure in physician study. I'm assuming they're going to find a beneficial effect. Okay, yeah. Our data suggests that moderate consumption of chocolate may be associated with a lower risk of heart failure in male patients. Awesome. So here we go. I'm going to copy paste. I'm going to go back to our parser. Hit submit. Okay, we're going to go again to the free article part. Keep in mind, this function is by default on article, which is a regular beneficial article. If this was, say, the research on a toxic substance, like say it's nanoparticles of titanium dioxide or hydrogenated oil, we'd hit toxic article. That's the difference. It would go into a different database, in other words. But for most studies, it's going to be full, free. Okay, so we're going to go back, and we're going to take this particular link for the full free. Okay, I'm going to go put it into the free article URL, and we're going to go copy this line here, which is the journal, citation, date, etc. Okay, and we have these two already populated. Toxic ingredients aspirin, it's mentioned in the article, but this is not an article about the toxicity of aspirin to my knowledge, so we'll just take that out. Again, you just have to be mindful. Whatever's in these fields will go into the database, so we just want to make sure we look at them. It's not perfect, our system, but it's about the best as it can be right now. Okay, so we want to say moderate consumption of chocolate might be associated with a lower risk of heart failure in male patients. Just change the acronym and keep this title. Okay, heart failure in male patients. Okay, so human study, and look, it's a male patient study, so you can do sex type. And actually, let me go look into the body of it to see if they mentioned anything specifically that I need to include. Okay. No, pretty simple. All right, so we're gonna just make sure heart failure is there. Great, hypertension. Actually, we're gonna take hypertension out because it doesn't specifically in the conclusion talk about reducing hypertension. And I'm going to throw in cardioprotective, right? Because that's pretty much what they're indicating. And so we're going to check again, and it's good. Hit submit. All right. Let me think here. I'm just going to do a toxic substance so that you can see where that goes. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? Because this will help reveal some other. We're going to do vaccination and adverse effects. Okay, see what we can find. Okay, this has free. Okay, actually I'm gonna clear these out because it's just harder to find clinical trials sometimes that have those sorts of data. Oops, here we go. Okay. We're just going to go clear that field, go back to vaccination and adverse effects. See what we can find. Even Pubmed is really slow today. Okay. Let's do this. Okay. Okay. Adverse ocular effects of vaccination. Vaccination are very effective measures. Okay, I'm just going to take this study, which references a potential adverse effect in eye conditions under toxic article. And then here under problematic actions, we have a vaccination section. And this is talking about generally vaccines, so this is, definitely something that we want to put under all. Okay, so all. And we're gonna do, oh my gosh, sorry.
Just gonna have to.
Vaccination all. So, ocular. Actually, do I have an ocular disease section? Alright, let's just do eye diseases. And one is actually mentioned, uveitis, it is? Yeah, there it is. Okay, we're going to do commentary. That just sort of says, this isn't a study, this is sort of just a commentary on the subject. And we're going to just, actually in this case, write adverse ocular effects of vaccinations have been reported. That's it, pretty simple. It's for those who are looking for research on these topics to be able to access. And again, toxic article, that's the main thing you wanted to put in here. And we're gonna hit submit. So this is how you enter studies into the database. Of course, this may not be sufficient, so if there's any information that I missed or that is confusing, just let me know. Initially, just you can send samples to me so I can check the work. But I'm excited to know that you're on board to help us to grow this database. I think it's going to make it so much better for everyone who's using this resource. The more data we can throw in, the more powerful in many ways it becomes as a service to those who need this research. So again, thank you so much for your help and just excited to have you on board.